Can you guys state your name and your role in the band?
I'm Josh Poynte, and I play the drums.
And I'm Kenny Hathorn, and I'm the lead vocalist of the band.
Brian Voss, bass player.
I'm Matt Bryant, play guitar.
I'm Jake O'Donnell. I play the guitar, but currently holding this nice bass.
Keep it on one.
Hold on, are you filming too? That's
Yes.
the question. Okay. I just didn't know if they could see the bass or not.
Doesn't matter.
Yes.
They heard what he said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you guys give any background information on the band when you guys started?
Yeah, absolutely. Matt and Brian are the two original founders of this band. They had a previous singer for a brief amount of time, and I guess it wasn't working out, and they contacted me shortly after his departure, and I went out and auditioned, and the funny thing was they asked me like right on the spot, they're like, hey, can you do a show like a week and a half from now, or 2 weeks from now? I was like, why not, let's do it, and it's been going ever since, really. It's 2 weeks late, after auditioning, and it's been non-stop ever since, so
Yeah.
that's it, my part of it.
Yeah, Jake and Josh, they were both in a band called Defying Silence. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, me and Josh have played another band, and Josh's band has played with Poynte back in the day, just sharing the stage, sharing the bill, whatever, and we all became friends or whatever, and through the natural course of bands go, members change, blah, 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 positions opened up, and they contacted us and said, hey, come on.
Yeah, we kind of contacted Jake first, because at the time we didn't really need a drummer, because our drummer, was on board at the time, and Jake came in and
We jammed for a while like that.
yeah, for a while, and then when we started to really want to do something other than just play hometown shows, we wanted to start touring, that's when the drummer started to fall off the wagon, and Jake, being in a band with Josh for a long time, was like, you know what, I got a good friend of mine, and he might fit the bill, and he came in. And originally he was we were just going to use him for like doing cover gigs, but he was so talented. I was like, man, he is hands down like one of the best that's come through the door.
And I think it only took like 2 practices for us to go, hey man, why don't we jam one of our songs?
It was 2 practices, we jammed y'all songs, and then a show a week later.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
In a hurry.
Yeah.
I think it was that way. How long were you in the band before we got
Not very long, and the first show was with non-Poynte that I had with Poynte band.
So everything for everybody. I think,
it's truly sink or swim. It's like feed you to the wolves real quick.
Yeah, that's
Don't play around.
like I said, mine was with non-Poynte. Josh's first show with
10
Poynte
years.
was 10 years, so it's not like we're playing Johnny Sports bar down the
Kenny's
grill.
first show was
These are high-profile shows.
Yeah.
Oddly enough, Kenny's first show was with Pop Evil.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
That was a good night. It was
Pop Evil
and Echo Valve.
Echo Valve and John Red.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That was a fun night because the drummer, I was washing my hands, and the drummer from John Red was like, man, that drummer from John Red's a dick. And I was just like, what?
Man.
That's funny. Where you been? Yeah, whatever.
I don't want to tell that story. That's a story for a different time.
How would you describe your music to those who haven't heard you?
That's a
I
hard question.
That's a life-changing event.
You ever heard of Nickelback?
Yes.
We sound nothing like them.
I would just describe to people as just a modern hard rock band, like in my mind. Like we're not like straight metal. We're not really straight anything. We don't really try to pinpoint and say, hey, this is what we are.
Yeah,
Stop that one straight up.
The one thing with us is, I don't know if it's due to like just the member changes that we've had to go through, but we always seem to change it up. Just about every song is different than the last song, so it's really hard to pinpoint. We've gotten everything from Incubus to Breaking Benjamin, from Iron Maiden to Alter Bridge. It's just like an array of music. Somebody compared it to 311 the other night. I was like, 311?
Yeah,
What?
there's no reggae in there at all.
There's a lot of different stuff. It's just random stuff.
Yeah, I think we just play what we feel at the time. There's no exact chemistry or orchestrated, idea. We just kind of go in there and just feel it out, and just see what happens.
Yeah.
And we'll fine tune the stuff later. It'll be raw at the time when we're just, freestyling in the room, and we'll like kind of do these scratch tracks and listen back, and we'll just fine tune everything.
For the 20 some odd songs that's been released since the band started, we've probably written 200.
Yeah, we're very picky.
And we don't just put out songs to put out songs. That's one thing that I won't stand for.
I just don't want to saturate,
Yeah, you're only as good as the last thing you put out.
Yeah.
Sorry. I haven't played this bass in a while, so it's like,
What was it that made you guys want to record Discreet Enemy on your own?
Well,
Bonnie?
yeah, that's mainly it. When we made our first EP, it was, it cost a lot of money, so we were trying to figure out ways to make it cheaper and still get quality. And we figured, how about we just try to put in the time and effort in just making sure, because we know what we want to sound like, and we don't need someone to come in and kind of play the daddy role over us and just to push a button. So we wanted to take and see if we could take it all in our own hands and kind of, see what we could come up with. And we were very pleased with it. I mean, we did all the tracking in his basement.
Yeah, we did it. I've got a little small studio in the basement, and we just, used crappy microphones through crappy preamps and through crappy software, and kind of figured it out as we went,
Yeah.
And, it came out awesome, man. The sixth member of our band, Andy Riley, he's our mix engineer / I guess production engineer. I don't know
What you call him.
He's
a great friend.
he's the guy that actually made it sound good.
Yeah, he did.
End of the day.
He did a really awesome job mixing, and he brought a lot to the table as far as production, all the little interludes and things like that. That wasn't.
Yeah, like the stuff in the backgrounds, like of the,
Yeah,
like in between songs and stuff like that. He helped like make
orchestrate all that.
make
stuff.
it seem very seamless, and that's what we wanted the album to be too. Just not have a flow to it, and not just, that way you're not just skipping to the next song. And a lot of people, that's what I think. A lot of people was like, man, I really like every song on it, and I think, by him doing what he did and helping us put that out there, it kind of helped have that effect.
Connected everything together. But yeah, he did a great job. And actually, Michigan native, Matt Dalton, mastered the album. So,
Oh, I know him.
you know Matt?
Yeah.
He's a good dude.
Yeah.
How did you come up with the name for the CD, Discreet Enemy?
Okay, when Matt asked me, he said, "What do you want to call the record?"
We had a lot of names floating around.
We did, and there's one thing that kept sticking out in my mind. It's just because when we wrote the song "Take Control," it was about basically as cheesy as the old adage is, a wolf in sheep's clothing, and that's kind of what I was wanting it to be like. Is like the album, in my opinion, was better than what I expected it to be, and I I wanted to convey that, and that's kind of what a lot of people will think that it's some kind of government thing, but it's really not. It's just, to me, I felt like this album was really strong for something that we personally made, and we're kind of the Discreet Enemy.
And after he brought that up, we kind of started looking at each one of the songs and realized that even if you dig into the stories of each one of the songs, it's all about, every one of the songs has something to do with, either a father that betrayed his daughter, which is nursery crimes, or, a relationship where you're supposed to be, the person's supposed to be on your side and ended up being your enemy, a discreet enemy. And every song kind of played into that idea. So that was, for me, that was the reason that I was on board to name it that. And just overall, it describes the album as a whole.
It really did, and it was funny because while we were tossing around the wolf in sheep clothing, I can't get over all the sheep things that we kept putting on. It's like wolves, thousands of sheep staring at you, and a wolf hitting
that was the album cover I made.
And we were like, this is kind of weird. So we ventured off and started looking at artists to kind of help us.
We landed on an old professor of mine, Alan Barnes. He's absolutely phenomenal artist. He does digital sequential art, so basically digital comic books is his thing. So yeah, that's where the comic book theme of the album cover came from. You know, we talked with him for several days trying to iron out, you know, how we could convey the discrete enemy through the artwork, and you know, we did a few little hidden things in the album artwork, and within the songs, you know, there's a code and all this stuff. You can. The album's a lot deeper than just
the image.
Yeah, just the image or just the sound.
And some people don't see that, and then the few people that do, it tickles me that they actually figure it out. Yeah, well, some of them can't figure it out, but they're like,
but they want to.
They want to.
There's people that know there's something there, and that's the cool thing.
Yeah.
The people that take time to even notice that there's something more to it than just
they always want me to tell them.
And we don't. We keep that a secret. If you can figure it out, you figure it out.
Yeah. I mean, who knows? We may continue to do that again.
Yeah, we might do it on the next album. Maybe our thing.
How did you find the Subsonic Media Group?
I'll take that one.
Yeah.
That kind of started out with our manager, Jonathan, which actually didn't even start out as our manager. He was a friend of mine that I met on just an online music group. And he liked the band, but he didn't like us enough to want to work with us when he first met us. He actually sent me emails. He said, man, I really like, he used to have a website, it was called Rock Nothing But, and he would review bands, and I got him to review our first EP, and he gave us like 3 stars out of 5, which is failing. He didn't necessarily have anything bad to say about it, but he did. He gave us 3 stars out of 5, so I was like, man, what's your deal? You know, like, I'm your friend. And he sent over an email with a bunch of just little things that he said that the next time to try to focus on. And I took it to heart. Like when I started writing for the new album, or just writing riffs for the new album, you know, that email stuck in my head, and I did. I tried a lot of the stuff that he suggested, and I think that email was a big contribution to what we have now. Now, to make a long story short, after I sent the new album, just one song, I sent picture frames to him, and he was like, good Lord, man. He's like, this is the best rock song, or best modern rock song I've heard in a long time. He was like, do you mind if I send it to a few friends? Because he still had his website. I think he had changed to Unsung Melody at that point. And he sent it to the first guy he sent it to was Nick Perry. He sent it to Nick Perry, and he replied back. He said, man, these guys are really good. You know, and he actually got an official statement from him. And I guess that kind of fueled Jonathan's fire, because he started sending it to everybody he knew, like anybody he'd ever interviewed. He was asking them to check it out and send us a quote and this, that, and the other. Next thing we know, we got people all over the freaking United States sending us emails talking about, you know, that they like this song and this, that, and the other. And, you know, over the natural course of things, he just got more and more involved with the band. And at some point, it got to where he was just managing us, like full on. He was helping handle the social media. He was in every aspect, like everything that we did, we were clearing through him. You know, and it kind of got to the point where we needed an entity to represent, you know, what we were doing. That, and we didn't. You know, Jonathan's doing it for free at this point. He's not making any money off of us. There's no contract. There's no anything. You know, he's just an awesome dude. He really wants to see us succeed. So I think in his future plans is to have a company that he can kind of do the same thing that he's doing for us, but for money. So that's kind of where Subsonic came from. He had the name, he bought the domain, and you know, I've always been on the production side of things. I've always been into like helping bands and that kind of thing. So you know, that's where it kind of came from. We got our 10-core distribution set up, and we can distribute ourselves now. And you know, that's about it. There's nothing special to it. It's just what it is.
Yeah, I checked out the website, I like it.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I did this morning.
Yeah, we were. I mean, we've worked with a few bands. I mean, our friends from South Carolina, Osara, we've done a lot of stuff with those guys. We built websites for Grammarly Rose from Kentucky. You know, a few of them. I think the singer from Grammarly Rose, Cameron, he has his own little solo project. We've done some websites for them. Right now, that's mainly what he's done outside of Poynte, is just some websites and graphic design and that type of stuff, which he handles pretty much all of that stuff for us. So, subsonicmediagroup.com.
Going back to the question previous, you had mentioned the taking control, and I saw that you guys just recently released a music video for that. So what is the story, not only behind the song, but behind the video as well for that?
Well, originally when I wrote the lyrics to the song, you know, and I'm not a political person at all, it's just that there's a lot of stuff going on and, you know, in the country, and a lot of people saying that, you know, change is for the better, and, you know, whether or not, and all I knew was like people were saying, yeah, change, but they didn't know what kind of change, and they wanted to jump on board, and I was kind of, you know, like reluctant to, I still do, I don't get on board with anything if I don't see the facts. So when people were like that, I was like, man, you don't even know what you're, you know, following, and that's kind of how I created the story. And I started off with, you know, they say that it's change, it was just really direct forward, and I wanted to be like, you know, change can be deceiving. People don't have the best intentions all the time, you know, just because they say they do. They kind of sweep stuff under the rug. They say, look over here, and then they be sweeping stuff under the rug the whole time. So that's kind of like how I, you know, came up with the story for the lyrics. And then, you know, Matt and everyone, you know, we collaborated on the video a couple times, but, you know, we couldn't really come up with solid. And then someone came up with the idea to...
It was Jonathan.
Yeah, Jonathan, to bring the album cover to life, and when I was told that, I was like, that is brilliant, and it really helped to explain the, you know, discrete enemies like we talked about earlier, and that's what me and Matt had really capitalized on, was trying to make sure that people could understand that, you know, by the end of the story, you saw that, you know, the female had accidentally shot her lover by the end of the story. And, you know, she had no idea because of all the, you know, change that had happened in the world, and that he was disguised and looked like the same person that was trying to, you know, harm her. So, and I thought that was a brilliant idea, and it just came out amazing.
Yeah, it just, you know, for us, especially with this album and this album cycle, we've tried to brand to Discreet Enemy. Everything we've done, we've really tried to push the story of the album, and you know, even with the Hold On video, while it was much simpler in concept, it still, you know, it still went along the Discreet Enemy idea, because it was showing people's, I guess, their issues and the way they overcame them. So, you know, I think it's really Jonathan came up with that idea, and we were able to push that story out a little further. And there's been talks for another video coming up for the villain. Hopefully, when we get back, we'll be trying to get that one.
Yeah, we're not going to say too much, because there's, I think you know, if we actually do get to follow through with that, it's going to be a really, really good one, just like Take Control. We're going to probably use the same, you know, director and everything again, just to make sure that we stay consistent. Because I mean, the way Take Control turned out, I was really pleased with it, and
It turned out nice.
and
for the amount that we actually got to film, that thing came out.
Yeah, it was literally 6 hours of trespassing, and that was it.
Oh wow.
yeah, what people saw is the performance-wise, that's really what we had done right there. And we
It
didn't.
was like 35 minutes of actual shooting.
We didn't get a whole lot of time to just redo the shots over and over and over. Like, for some reason with this band, we always have
Get
like
rushed over.
minutes, not just rushed, but things never happen the way you want them to. Like last night with the
Yeah.
window, like when we had to rewire the window last night, it's the same thing with that video. We're shooting, everything's fine.
For sure.
Well,
Yes.
we've got several video ideas. in
The
the
video
works.
ideas as far as and new song tracks to think about.
That's the main thing for me as the singer. I'm looking forward to writing new material. So I know it sounds like people are just now getting our album, but I've sang these songs so many times. I'm ready for something else, you know. And that's just how I am, you know.
That's why before we left we really focused on trying to hammer out one new song to
That we were proud enough to
demo
put out.
on this tour right now. So
Yes.
we do each night we need to play a brand new song that is not recorded on any
That is
other
the
medium
highlight
other
of the
than
night.
YouTube.
And to actually be in the room.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's my it's by far even though it's unfinished, it's by far my favorite song that we have written yet.
Oh, it's a driving song.
Yeah, it's very powerful.
Other than that, I mean, we got some video ideas. Well, my portion of handling the band falls down to a lot of the logistics of like where we're going, what we're doing. So right now, I'm super focused on booking shows. We're not necessarily national tours because this is like for now, this is like a once every 4 or 5 months type thing where we can venture out this far.
Yeah.
And this long.
Yeah, for this long. Yeah, it's rough. I mean, we do it all ourselves. We have no.
Ain't nobody's funding this trade except for us. Yeah, you can see none of these pockets are too padded right now. So.
We're all starving.
We're doing it for the love of music, for sure.
Yes, for the love.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we've got a couple of shows we'll be announcing, back closer to home. I think it's already okay to announce it. We just hadn't done it on Facebook. We just booked a show with Alien Ant Farm in Clarksville, Tennessee. And we just got word the other day that our show on the 30th, April 30th, in Hickory, North Carolina is Devour the Day is going to be headlining that show.
Okay.
I'm really excited.
Yeah,
I'm a big fan of that band, so I can't wait to hang out with them, actually meet them in person. So.
And then we also just announced May 1st that we'll be back in Atlanta with who is it? Orgy and Filtered.
Okay.
Got some big stuff coming.
I wonder if Kaleido's gonna be on that Alien Ant Farm.
Yeah.
Whatever. They're on everything. So going off of your favorite song, what is everybody's favorite song?
I'll say what my favorite song is.
Can we exclude the new song in this? 'Cause I don't think
Yeah, that's what I'll
Off the
tell you
record.
what my favorite song off the record that we have currently. My personal favorite would probably be The Villain, just mainly because just how intimate the song is, and it was the most fun for me to write, and it was very personal for me. The song is like very personal, and a lot of people, I don't know if they get that or not, but it strikes a chord with me. So.
Going down the road.
Yeah, well, my favorite song is Aberration. It means a lot. It's a strong song, and it's really, really fun to play on the drums too. So.
Yes. It is a strong drum song.
Yeah.
Brian?
Personally, I really like a lot of the songs off the album. So I like The Message and Forever because it brings us in front of a crowd to what we're doing. And I just like the message there that we can make.
For me, it's What Will It Take? It's my favorite song to listen to, not necessarily even though it is a really fun song to play live. To me, the movement in that song is just really awesome. The way we got to arrange that song was just really awesome.
And now I'm just going to interrupt. It was not my favorite, even though I'm growing to love it even more. But it wasn't my favorite, and I'm glad it's on the record. They were like, man, it deserves to be on the record, and I was like, I don't want it to, and they're like, it's going to, but now I'm glad it is because it is. I've heard nothing but good things from other people. I was kind of,
You kind of rewrote that before the studio, anyways.
yeah.
At least the verses and things. But to me, it's just the swapping back and forth between you know, the slow tempo chugs to the high energy scream back and forth, call and response, vocal scream thing. To me, that's just, it's a really powerful way to get the message across.
Yes, but it can appeal to a lot of demographics too, or not demographics, but people that listen to, you know, different kinds of music. It can be soft, heavy, melodic. So that's really cool song.
Oh, yeah. I side with Captain Redbeard on that one. I'm a big fan of What Will It Take. I remember that was one of the first songs I ever got to hear demoed from the album. I was like, what? Yes. That's just for whatever reason, like, just because I think that song is the most different song on the whole album. And I don't know why that one just really sticks out to me. And the way it hits, it's just a killer song, man. And the way we changed it up live a little bit, Josh introduced this crazy little, just complete dropout on everything but vocals. And that just took it to a whole next level for me. Oh man,
Goosebumps.
Yeah,
We kind of just wanted to open it up and leave space live, just to make it more impactful vocally, and it turned out really good. Like drums and vocals were.
Honorable mentions for me would be Last Embrace. That song, yeah, it's probably the oldest song on. Yeah, it is. It is the oldest song on the street.
It's one of the first ones I wrote.
Yeah, it's we didn't think it was gonna make the album, honestly, but once we got it demoed out and started listening to it, it was way too strong of a song to not be. Yeah, it was the perfect ending to the album. And then yeah, it was. And actually, that song's been around for a long time.
They had redone the riff. Like
it was originally written as a song called "No One to Love," and
they wanted to use some of the parts, and and so it was funny because they didn't tell me that till later.
Yeah, he didn't even know after we
the parts.
I
think they kind of knew, like, let's not just, because I told them, I was like, if I hear something over and over, it's hard for me to rewrite on what I've heard, it's ingrained in my head. So I think that's why they kind of snuck that in here.
But you basically took it,
made it my own.
Yeah, made your own, created something that's much better than so.
Well, thank you, Brian.
Yeah, I mean, that sums it up for me. I like all the songs. So to me, every song on the album has its place. You know, everything that's on the album had a purpose, and it fulfills its purpose. You know, the Jason Derulo cover initially was a live thing.
And we had so many people in our hometown that just were like screaming at us to put it on the record. So we were like, fine, we're gonna put it on.
We struggled with that really hard because we didn't want to be the band that got famous
And that's
off of a cover song. And we have purposely not tried to push that song because we want to be famous off of something we did
ourselves,
not someone else's song. It's a fun song and people like it, and I think it serves its purpose on the album. But
I think it serves more of its purpose live. Like when we started to do it, it's a big surprise for a band to do it, and bands do it all the time, and we just didn't, like I said, we just didn't want to push that as saying, hey, this is who we are, because that's not who we are. But that's just fun, So.
And we'll probably do a few more. Honestly, we'll end up tracking another pop song.
Maybe a pop song. I want to even try old school.
Yeah, old school. Something. At some point we'll do another cover. It's just
you never know.
for us to do. I can't even think of any of the other songs on the album. So, Erase Me. That's probably.
I'm not gonna sit here and talk about the whole freaking album.
I love this attitude. We're not doing it.
No. We'll be here for hours and hours.
Grumpy Jay instead of Grumpy Kitty or whatever it is.
And why am I'm always happy.
Right.
I'm not grumpy.
No.
If you get Captain Redbeard on a roll, we're about talking. We'll all be over here napping.
And we all know the reason why.
Is there anything else that you want to let anybody know that would be watching?
I mean, other than just to check us out, Facebook. Everything's pretty much /Poynte. You just go to Facebook.
Anywhere
/
on the internet.
Yeah, POINTE. I think, except for Instagram, I think it's Poynte official.
Okay.
So,
Request it on your radio station.
yeah, request us on
Yeah.
radio
Yeah,
station.
radio station.
We're picking up some rotation on several stations, so,
So hit up your FM radio stations, and don't be afraid to, ask them, because they're most likely gonna know who we are.
the more of those mainstream stations we can pull, the more markets we'll be able to get out to,
And the more we'll be able to get out here on the road and play for people.
which is the ultimate goal, is to figure out how to.
Yeah, we've submitted to like 4,000 radio stations, literally 4,000 radio
Yeah.
stations. So they have the tracks, okay?
So
You just gotta go out there and request them, and they say, oh, we don't have it. BS, yes you do.
They have the track, so, yeah, just call in and say, hey, we wanna hear some Poynte, and if you know our songs, and just tell them exactly what you wanna hear.
Yeah, take control with service, so request take control.
Yes.
But that's it, yeah.
All right,
Thank
thank you.
Thank you guys for your
You guys.
interest.